What are 4 things that we can do to prevent spiritual bypassing? Hey everybody, it's Chris Kunzang here at Gateway to the Limitless. I am an author, spiritual educator, and former Tibetan Buddhist monk, and I teach a program called Gateway to the Limitless, where I teach you everything you need to know to really connect with your true self, discover your true desires, and learn how to live and manifest your true destiny. So spiritual bypassing is basically the idea that we take on maybe the superficial qualities of a spiritual person or a spiritual practice, meanwhile avoiding or bypassing the ugly junk and muck that is just part of being an emotional human being. So this is a real danger in all spiritual communities, spiritual practices. All kinds of things can result from spiritual bypassing. People can lose their interest in spiritual practice. They can hurt each other by just pretending that they're, love and light, and just think that they're better than everybody. You can have cult situations as a result of it. All kinds of nasty stuff can happen. So we really want to be careful of making sure that we're not bypassing the truth of our being, right? Which is the faults and the shortcomings and the hurts and the wounds and all of these things that we normally don't want to own up to. So here are 4 things that are really important in any real genuine spiritual path for real spiritual healing and growth. Now, the first one is to have a sense of honest curiosity. And this curiosity is really aimed at being able to start to ask ourselves questions about who we are, where we've come from, what we believe, what we've assumed, and what we've kind of presupposed about what's possible and what's not possible in life. Now, the thing is, when we start to ask these questions, we may not always like the answers that we're going to start to hear, and we're not going to always like the things that we're going to find. So this is where we need number 2, which is courage. We need the courage to be able to really start looking honestly at ourselves and to really see what's there. There might be fear, there might be anxiety, there might be resentment, there might be bitterness, there might be a sense of victimization, there might be all kinds of things that we normally wouldn't want to admit to in normal kind of conversation, but we have to own up to, we have to look at, and we have to see for what they are. This brings us to the third quality that we really need, is compassion for ourselves. Because it can be difficult to look at these dark parts of ourselves, we also have to have a sense of compassion, a wish for ourselves to be free of that, an acknowledgement that, hey, we are human beings and that we do suffer. And normally we think of compassion as something that we feel for others, that we want to be compassionate towards other people, and that's a form of spiritual bypassing, actually, being compassionate only for others but not compassionate for ourselves. So we want to have compassion for ourselves. We want to realize that we too deserve to be free from suffering. So that's why we're going to look at all of the dark parts of ourselves, and we're going to do whatever we can to really heal from them and heal ourselves so that we can be free of that suffering. And then actually we wind up being more available to help others. And then finally, the last thing that we want is a commitment to this journey, a commitment to the process of healing, the process of spiritual growth, which, I hate to say it, I know this isn't a popular opinion, but it's not going to happen even in a weekend workshop as powerful as Gateway to the Limitless. It's an ongoing process. And this is why I teach people skills and practices and techniques that they can take into their life along their path of spiritual growth and evolution. So it takes a commitment, which is really a manifestation of your love for yourself. You love yourself enough to stick with it and to stay with the process and to stay with the journey. And now this doesn't always mean that you're lashing yourself on the back, as you're lashing yourself up to the top of the mountain here. It means knowing when to slow down. It means knowing when to take a nap, when to have a nice healthy meal, when to seek out the company of supportive friends and guides, and all kinds of other things that you can do to really care for yourself. And it also means loving yourself enough to sit with the discomfort, sit with the pain, sit with the wounded bits, long enough to really be able to make meaningful change, to help these parts of ourselves really heal and to really step into a new, more empowered way of being. So again, we got 4 things to avoid spiritual bypassing. We want to have curiosity. We want to have the courage to be able to, face and witness the things that we are discovering about ourselves. We want to have compassion for ourselves. And then finally, you want to have the commitment to stick with it for as long as it takes, because at the end of the day, you are worth it. You are a divine being who is just full of all this potential. It's right there. It's right there within your grasp, and really you're worth it. And if you just take the time and the steps, you're going to discover things about yourself that you just never imagined were possible. So again, this is Chris Kunzang here at Gateway to the Limitless. I hope you found this video helpful and useful. Let me know what you think about spiritual bypassing. Have you experienced it in yourself? Are there things within yourself that you've tried to kind of maybe sweep under the rug and kind of came back to bite you later on? Or maybe you have some experience with a situation where the spiritual bypassing maybe hurt you in some way. So let me know down in the comments. Please like this video, feel free to share it, and of course subscribe to my channel here at Gateway to the Limitless. I love hearing your comments. I love seeing your likes and your shares. Thank you so much for watching. Be well and take care of yourselves.